What's up, everybody? I'm Chris. We're here at Rio on windy Cape Hatteras, and we're checking out the all-new 2016 Slingshot Refraction. The Slingshot Refraction is designed to deliver explosive pop and solid edge control to some of the world's most progressive kiteboarders. The Refraction comes in two sizes. We've got the 143 centimeter, and that's three-time Triple S champion Sam Light's Pro model. And the board also comes in a 135 centimeter. And that's going to be the pro model for Slingshot team rider Karolina Winkowska. So we've got two sizes of this board. Let's take a look and see what makes the Refraction tick. When we first look at the Refraction, we want to start with the bottom shape of the board. When I'm looking at the board at a glance, the bottom looks pretty flat without a lot of character. But look again, there's a lot going on this board. Through the center, we've got a really subtle V. What that's going to do is disperse energy. If you're landing really hot and hard, that V is just going to kind of disperse some of the energy away from the center of the board, soften your landings just a little bit. When we look at the tips of the board, they've got what Slingshot calls an inverted NACA duct channel. And what that means is when you look at the center of the board, it's pretty flat. Your channeling is actually out here on the rails of the board. So both rails and the tips actually have a little bit of camber. We're going to hold this up and see if we can kind of get an angle on the camera there. And you can see that the board actually arches up and back down out towards the rail. That's going to give you really solid edge control, and it's going to grip the water super tightly. So even though this board doesn't have the same complicated channels that other boards might have, it still does have a setup that's going to provide that grip and edge control that you want. The base of the board has some texture to it. It's kind of hard to see probably on the video, but there's some texture here in the base of the board. And this board is designed for three-time Triple S champion Sam Light. Sam goes absolutely crazy on the sliders and throws a ton of abuse at his boards. So we're only going to assume that this board is durable enough to withstand that kind of action. So interesting what they've done here. We're stoked to see how these boards are going to perform over seasons and seasons of use. The Refraction boards are going to come stock with a 3/4 inch fin. So it's 6 inches long, 3/4 of 1 inch deep on the fins. This board can be ridden without fins, especially if you're out riding on sliders or obstacles. But if you're just out riding freestyle or riding in flat water, we're going to recommend that you keep the fins in this board. All it's going to do is give you more grip, it's going to help the board go upwind better, and it's going to give you a lot more pop off the water when you have the grip of these fins. So try it both ways, see what you like. If you're on sliders, pop the fins out, but otherwise, keep these little fins in. They're super convenient, they feel really good when you ride. When we look at the rails of the board, Slingshot's got a urethane rail. It's durable, similar to like a skateboard wheel, and it molds the whole rail into one solid piece, so it's impact resistant, and it also gives the rail a really nice shape that really bites the water in a good way. When we look at the deck of the board, really cool graphics this year on both models. The graphics are similar, but one's got a couple more pinks and purples for the ladies, a little more blue and red here on the men's version. And the board has Slingshot's fast track mounting system. So you're not married to having to hit a certain bolt hole and be limited. You can completely customize your stance down to the millimeter to get your feet as wide or narrow as you want. We went ahead and tested this board with boots. I dug my boots out and bolted them on. I think that this board is meant to be ridden with boots. It's wide, it's rockered out. If you want to get the performance you're looking for, strap some boots on this board and you're going to be able to handle the power that you want to go out there and explode off the water. A couple pieces of insider info about this board. We mentioned before that at first glance, the bottom shape of the board seems pretty flat, but there is a lot going on in these rail channels near the tips. So the board may look like it doesn't have any channeling, but look again in the channels out here in the rail towards the tips. That's where you get your grip from. That's where you get your edge control. Another piece of insider info about this board, it only comes in two sizes, 143 for the guys, 135 for the gals. There's a lot of riders out there, like a lot of lighter male riders maybe, that are used to riding a 138. You're not going to have that size offered in this board, and that's okay. There's other boards in the Slingshot line, like the Asylum, that are going to have more size ranges for you to choose from. So if you are used to riding a different size, if this 143 or 135 just isn't going to work for you, don't worry. Slingshot's got you covered with the Asylum. the last thing we want to talk about is who is this board for? We talked about the board is a pro model for 3-time Triple S champion Sam Light. You don't have to ride like Sam Light to get the Refraction, but you might want to ride like him one day. So even an intermediate who's hoping that they're going to progress, someone that desires to ride wake style or progress into doing some awesome tricks, the Refraction's for you. If you're already riding at that level, even better, this board's going to allow you to perform to the highest level. So someone that's already riding, progressive, throwing a lot of tricks, or someone who wants to get there, intermediate level or higher, this board's going to be suitable for a really wide range of kiteboarders. You can learn more about the 2016 Refraction at realwatersports.com.